not know where the National Pensions Office is located unless you came here to lodge a complaint. On the second floor of Anderson Square, a small staff ensures you receive the retirement funds you deserve.
Unfortunately, we spend a lot of our time investigating complaints. Usually complaints about deductions being made, not remitted to the pension plan provider, or about deductions not being made. The office has other functions, but complaints is by far the major task we're faced with these days. The law has been in effect now for 10 years, and there really should be no excuse for employers to be unaware of the provisions of the law.
But some employers still break the law. Currently, pension investigators have more than 100 complaints piling up on their desks.
If you came in to file a complaint, there's a normal process we follow. Our first step would be to send a directive letter to the employer, which would require them to reply within 2 weeks. It could be something resolved within a month, or if they ignore it and we have to do follow-up phone calls, etc., it could lead into 3 to 6 months maybe, and depending if it goes to court, even longer. Some of them will cooperate and sort out the problems quickly. Others, they try to push us off and ignore the letters and the directives and the phone calls, and then it might lead to court. But the majority we can sort out without having to go that route.
The office is also working with other government departments to better enforce the law.
We've looked at different venues with the Immigration Department, Central Tenders Committee, Health Insurance Commission, Labor Department, as well as the RCIP with respect to the new securities law, and trying to enlist the cooperation of these different departments and bureaus to enforce national pensions law, as well as other applicable labor laws, trying to get them to accurately research companies before providing tenders and providing licenses and things like that. In essence, it basically forces these companies and the employers to police themselves and ensure that they're up to date with things, knowing that they have to go through these steps in order to gain work and licensing. But also it will lead to us being able to be more proactive in the future. Now we tend to be more reactive with a lot of our issues. And as I said, if companies can police themselves, then we can take on more of an educational role and get out there and help people before the issues arise.
As an employer, how much must you contribute?
10% of an employee's earnings must be paid into a pension plan on their behalf. Now that can be paid 5% by the employer, 5% by the employee, but a total of 10% must be paid, and no more than 5% must come from the employee. There is a cap set called the year's maximum pensionable earnings. It's currently set at $60,000, which basically means that an employee and an employer are only obligated to pay contributions up until that earning point.
Most private sector businesses participate in one of the 6 multi-employer pension plans: Cayman National Trust, Chamber of Commerce, Fidelity, Silver Thatch, British American, or British Caymanian.
In the Cayman Islands, the pension funds are invested much like they're invested in the rest of North America. And the National Pensions Law has certain guidelines that investment managers must follow in the investment of the pension funds. So yes, the most pension funds in the Cayman Islands did decrease over the 2008 calendar year. However, if history repeats itself, which we hope it does, those funds will again increase. The investment prognosis says it might take 1 to 5 years for the markets to fully recover. But in the long-term perspective, we would anticipate that the funds will rebound.
As an employee, you should compare your pay stub to your pension statement to make sure the two match up. Also, report any changes in your personal information, such as an address or phone numbers.
It is for retirement. If you need a TV or a car or a house, that's really not retirement. The National Pensions Law does have provisions, not just for expats, but for any member of the plan, whereby should they leave the island, they would be eligible for a lump sum refund 2 years after they stop paying into the pension plan. And they also have to become a non-resident of the Cayman Islands, which means they have to be absent for a minimum period of 6 months. In lieu of a lump sum refund, members could transfer the pension plan immediately on leaving the island to another retirement vehicle.
To find out more information about the National Pensions Office, just log on to www.npo.ca. ms.gov.ky. There's also a Freedom of Information tab where you can request information and read through a document library.